Today we're going to talk about writing numbers in scientific notation. When we're writing numbers in scientific notation, the first thing we have to remember is that the number must be between 1 and 10. The number can be equal to 1, but it cannot be equal to 10. So in other words, we're going to have a number with a digit in the ones place and then digits potentially in the decimal places. If you have a digit in the tens place, it is not in scientific notation. The next thing you have to remember, the power has to be an integer. It could be a positive, it could be negative, it could be 0, but it has to be an integer. It cannot be a decimal or a fraction. The last thing you have to remember is that the power will tell you the place value of the digit to the left of the decimal point. Let's look at some examples. So in our first example, we are going to put 36.1 times 10 to the 6th power into scientific notation. To do that, we have to move the decimal point one time to the left. My new number, 3.61 times 10 to the 6 plus 1. Now, we move the decimal point one time to the left. When you move it to the left, you are going to add 1 to your power. So my power is now 7. Let's look at this example. I have a negative power, so my final answer in standard form will be a decimal point. I have to put this number into scientific notation. Again, I move the decimal one place to the left, 3.61 times. And again, if you move it to the left, you have to add 1 to your exponent, remembering your integer operations. A negative plus a positive. It's still going to be a negative number, but I am moving one spot to the right on the number line. So instead of being -6, it is -5. Let's look at some other examples. In these cases, I have nothing in the ones place. So I'm going to have to move the decimal one time to the right. When I'm moving to the right, I need to subtract 1 from the power. My new number is going to be 10 to the 4th power. In this example, again, I'm moving one spot to the right, so I have to subtract 1 from the power. -5 minus 1 is going to be a -6. 2.45 times 10 to the -6. So now my numbers are in scientific notation. So there is a general rule you could think about. When you're moving your decimal to the left, you add 1 to the power. When you move your decimal to the right, you're subtracting 1 from the power. So to recap, when you're writing numbers in scientific notation, the number must be between 1 and 10. It can be 1, but it cannot be 10. You're only going to have a digit in the ones place, and then everything else is going to be a decimal or a digit in the decimal positions. Your power has to be an integer, either a negative, 0, or positive integer. It cannot be a decimal. It cannot be a fraction. Your power is going to tell you the place value of the digit to the left of the decimal point. If you have to change the number and put it in scientific notation, each time you move the decimal to the left, you are adding 1 to the power. Each time you move the decimal to the right, you're subtracting 1 from the power.